In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to use Python code, and we're going to do that using the Replit system, which is available online and through your browser. So you don't need to install any software in order to be able to work with Python code. I've gone here to a team, Bitterdale S1 Ciphers. You'll probably be in your own class team in order to work with these exercises. And I've loaded exercise 1A, Python using print. When this loads up, you can see I have three panels. I have a file section over here with a sidebar. I have a coding section where the actual program itself appears in the middle. And I have the output section over here, which currently is on the Markdown tab. And the Markdown tab shows me the instructions for today's lesson. So we're going to find out about putting text on the screen. And it shows me a block of Python code, print hello world, and it's asking me to debug the supplied code to put some messages on the screen. I need to remove the hashtags. The hashtags are shown in red here. So hashtags at the start of each line, and then fix the code to print these messages. At the top of my screen, I have a run button. If I click on run, two things will happen. First of all, this program will run, and then the output will show in the console tab. So I've moved from Markdown to console, and this is where I see the output of my program. It is running the main.py program, so this is the program that's being run here, and it's produced the output I am learning to code in Python. The reason it's done this is because at line 3 we have the print command and then some brackets, and inside the brackets there is a piece of text inside speech marks, and that's exactly what has appeared on the screen. Now, line 3 isn't the first line of code in the program, that's at line 1, but line 1 has a hashtag at the start, which means that this is treated as a comment. So this bit here that says using Python for input and output is not actually being looked at by the Python program. Everything that's got a hashtag at the start of it is ignored by the code. And this is why only one line of code, which is line 3, is currently running. I'm going to go here to line 5 and I'm going to remove the hashtag at the start. And I now have two lines of code. And if I click on run, you'll see that actually there's a problem now. I have what's called a syntax error, and it says that at line 5 I've got a problem just after the word print. The little arrow here is pointing at where it encountered the problem. So this says I need to use brackets with functions like print. And hopefully you can see the difference between line 3 and line 5. In line 3, the word print is followed by a bracket, and that wraps around the thing that I want to print. So I need to do the same on line 5. I'll go here after the word print, I'll open a bracket. I then have to close that after what I want to print at the very end of the line. And if I click on run now, both of these lines are now appearing as my output in the console. So I'm going to go through each line in turn. I'm going to remove the comment. So remove the hashtag that's making the program ignore that line. It then changes colour. So notice the lines that are comments are in grey here. They're greyed out. When I remove the hashtag, they then become part of the code and change colour. If I try to run this, and I can see straight away that I've got this red underlining showing there's likely to be a problem. But if I try to run it, it tells me that there's now a problem on line 7. And it thinks that the problem starts at the T of text. Print all, and it thinks the problem starts here. But if I read what it actually says, all text printed must be inside quotation marks. That gives me a better clue about what's going on. I've asked it to print something, but it doesn't understand what this means. And so what I need to do is to wrap the whole thing inside speech marks. And then it doesn't have to understand it, it just has to put it on the screen. So print, all text printing must be inside quotation marks. If I run this now, all three of these lines are now appearing in the output. I'm moving on to the next line. I'm going to remove the hashtag at line 9. I click on run. And it says here, name error. Name print is not defined. But we've already used print 3 times, so what's going on? Well, what I've said here is that every Python keyword must be spelled exactly right. And if we look carefully, this isn't the word print, it's the word PR1NT. So instead of an I, I've got a 1 there. And if I change it to an I, so that we got the word print, notice it changed from something that was in black to something that is now a purple keyword. The word print is a keyword and is therefore recognized. So I'm going to run that again. And I've got all 4 lines appearing now. In each case, it's starting with the keyword print, it's opening a bracket, and it's putting the thing to be printed inside speech marks. So I'm going to come to line 11 now. And again, the red underline suggests something's wrong. If I click on run, it says the name print is not defined. And you can see that what I'm trying to print is that Python keywords must be typed in lowercase. So lowercase means no capital letters. And of course, the word print here is all capital letters. So I need to change that by replacing what was there with lowercase print. Lowercase print goes purple, showing as a recognized keyword. And if I run that, we then have good. And now, the last thing, if I remove the hashtag, it says now print, I know how to output in Python. So actually what I was looking for, I'm going to leave that as a comment, and I need to make I know how to output in Python appear on screen. Now, if I just comment that out, there's no problems with this. I can run it and it runs absolutely fine. But if I go to this little tick box here, this little tick in the sidebar, which says tests, and click that, it allows me to see there is a fully debugged test. So I can click on run tests and it tells me it failed. And the reason it failed, if I look at results, is that the expected output had lines 1 to 6 here. I only had lines 1 to 5. And what's missing, what I should have had but didn't have, was this final statement. I know how to output in Python. So I need to fix my code to make that happen. Now I've kind of lost where I am here, so I'm going to go back to files, make sure I'm in main.py. How do I make it print that statement? Well, I know that I need to start it with the print command. I need to open a bracket, and notice it's closed the bracket for me automatically to make sure everything's in matched pairs. I know that what I want to print has to appear inside speech marks. So I'm going to use Shift and the 2 key here to put a pair of speech marks. Again, it closed it automatically. And I need to say, I know how to output in Python. Now, if I run that, it looks fine. If I run the test and run here, it says it's failed. And if I look at the results, you can see that in pink, the bit I've got it didn't want is a lowercase p. What it wanted was a capital P in green on Python. So pink is the bits it doesn't like, green is the bits it should have had. So that'll help you to find problems with your code. If I close that down, click on capital P, run the test again, and this time it's telling me I've passed the test, so I am now in a position to submit that code. Okay, you should find that you've got a submit button up in the top corner here. Because I've made this code, I've got an edit project instead. So that's us. We've gone through our first Python program. We know how to print things on the screen, and we do that using the print keyword, opening a bracket, and then putting the thing to be printed inside speech marks. There are other ways to print that we'll look at in further lessons, but that is our first lesson about making output appear on the screen in Python. And we'll just check back to the markdown here. Have we done everything we were supposed to? Yes, we have, so we are good to go.